Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into a really fascinating exploration looking at a truly transformative time of life. We're pulling insights from an article that really caught our attention, 9 Life Lessons You Learn in Your 30s, by Mia Gibson over on Mindful Living. Our mission today? Well, it's to really dig into the most important bits of wisdom, maybe some surprising facts about what actually shifts when you hit your 30s. Think of this as, I guess, a shortcut to understanding that practical wisdom shaping relationships, careers, and maybe most importantly, how you see yourself during this really pivotal decade. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, and what's really striking right from the start is how the article points out that these lessons you learn in your 30s, they just hit differently than the ones from your 20s.
Right.
It describes this decade as this interesting mix of gaining clarity but also facing new challenges. Priorities don't just shift. Sometimes it feels like they're actively demanding you reevaluate them.
It's interesting how the article frames it, too. It's not about completely reinventing yourself, is it?
No, not at all.
It's more like deepening your connection with who you've always been.
Yeah.
And kind of making sense of everything you gathered in your 20s, like finally processing all that data.
That's a great way to put it, processing the data. It's less about just collecting more experiences and more about, understanding them. Like, maybe your 20s were about grabbing all the ingredients.
Sure.
But your 30s are when you actually start cooking, figuring out what flavors work together, what recipes you genuinely love.
I like that analogy.
And this clarity, it usually comes from, well, just lived experience. By your 30s, you've probably seen relationships change, maybe end.
Yeah.
You've navigated some career ups and downs.
Sure.
You've started setting clearer boundaries, hopefully. And crucially, you start realizing your energy, your attention, they're not infinite. They're real resources you need to manage.
And the article describes that shift really well, moving from like chasing every single opportunity to consciously choosing what genuinely matters.
Right.
There's a great quote from a friend in the piece. Your 20s are for collecting experiences. Your 30s are for understanding them.
That really nails it.
It reframes that whole idea of self-improvement, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more about honoring who you are rather than constantly chasing some idea of who you think you should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Which kind of leads us into the first big lesson the article unpacks, friendships.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Thinking back to, college or early jobs, friendships often just happened because you were around each other.
Right.
Proximity did the heavy lifting.
Yeah, easy.
But the article highlights this fundamental change in your 30s.
It really does. It basically says proximity no longer creates friendships. Intention does.
Intention.
Yeah. You find you actually have to reach out. You have to be intentional. And you start realizing that quality conversations matter way more than just casual hangouts.
That feels true.
You get better at figuring out which friendships energize you and which ones kind of drain you. And you make peace with those seasonal friendships, the ones that were right for a certain time but maybe aren't forever.
Seasonal friendships. I like that term.
There's a quote in there. Friendships that thrive without effort are rare. The ones that last are nurtured. It even gives this relatable example, maintaining a deep bond with a friend who lives states away through real, consistent effort, like scheduling virtual wine dates every month.
That takes work. Intentionality, like you said.
Exactly.
And speaking of things changing, that quick recovery after a late night.
Oh boy, don't remind me.
Our 20s felt, physically invincible sometimes.
Yeah.
But the article talks about this physical reality check in the 30s. That feeling of waking up after maybe just a couple of drinks feeling like, quote, I've been hit by a truck.
Yep, definitely felt that one. It's like your body starts giving you much clearer feedback about your habits.
And you actually start listening.
You have to. Health suddenly isn't just about how you look, it's about how you feel, how you function day to day.
Right.
Those preventative checkups, they become non-negotiable. Sleep quality, suddenly way more important than staying out late.
Absolutely.
And exercise shifts too, right? It becomes less about just fitness goals and more about mental health, managing stress,
Definitely.
and food. You really start noticing how different foods actually make your body feel. The article even mentions how mental health resources become just as vital as physical ones, linking a friend's chronic headaches directly to work stress.
Wow.
It all points towards this bigger shift, doesn't it? Towards like balanced living, not just pushing through anymore.
Yeah, holistic well-being. And often that reevaluation, especially around health and energy, leads right into another big lesson the article talks about. Rethinking career success. It even suggests burnout is often the catalyst here.
Yes, that burnout forcing a reevaluation. The relationship with work definitely changes for a lot of people. You start to realize that, titles and salary increases don't automatically create fulfillment.
That's huge.
It is purpose, meaning they start to feel heavier, more important than just prestige or the next rung on the ladder. Work-life balance goes from being a nice idea to an absolute must-have.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
And you gain this quiet confidence maybe to recognize toxic environments and actually walk away. There's a great little story in the piece about someone leaving a high-paying corporate job for a smaller place with a better culture.
And how did they feel?
They described it as the most terrifying but freeing decision of my 30s.
Wow. Free.
Yeah, so it's clear, right? Success starts getting redefined on your own terms, not by what society dictates.
And redefining success like that, it probably requires learning another skill the article highlights.
Yeah.
One that sounds simple but is surprisingly hard.
Let me guess, saying no.
You got it. The superpower of saying no.
Oh, it really is a superpower. The article calls it liberating, and that's exactly the right word. That freedom you feel when you finally set clear boundaries.
Because every time you say yes to something you don't really want.
You're actually saying no to something else, something you might have needed or enjoyed or that could have moved you forward.
That's a powerful reframe.
And you learn that no can be a complete sentence. You don't always need a long explanation.
Yeah.
And respecting your own boundaries, it actually teaches other people how to treat you.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The piece mentions a friend appreciating an honest no much more than some flimsy excuse. Protecting your peace, your energy, it isn't selfish. It's necessary.
Necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got intention in friendships, listening to your body, redefining success, setting boundaries. What's next on this journey?
Well, building on that idea of intention and what truly matters, the article talks about shifting focus from accumulating things to accumulating experiences.
The experiences over possessions idea.
Exactly. And it often happens pretty naturally in your 30s, doesn't it? You look back and realize the things you truly remember and cherish years later. They're rarely the material possessions.
Yeah, it's the trips, the moments.
Right. Vacations, adventures, even just a really great dinner with friends, that stuff starts feeling way more valuable than buying the latest gadget or designer thing. Your photos, maybe a journal, those become your treasured possessions.
That resonates.
The article even gives an example of a friend group evolving. Instead of always exchanging physical gifts, they started planning experiences together, like cooking classes or weekend getaways.
That's a cool shift.
It's about making choices based on internal satisfaction, what genuinely brings you joy, rather than seeking that external validation from owning things.
Internal satisfaction versus external validation. That seems like a recurring theme here.
It really is, and it leads right into another lesson, which the article calls one of the most liberating, but maybe also one of the hardest to truly embrace.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's the realization that universal approval is both impossible and unnecessary. You just can't please everyone.
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough one for a lot of people. The people-pleasing habit.
Totally. And you realize, after years of maybe trying to be everything to everyone, that it actually stops you from being, well, you. Authentically you.
So letting go of that chase for approval.
It brings incredible freedom.
Yeah.
Seriously. External validation just stops being the main driver. You become okay with being misunderstood sometimes.
Yeah, it takes courage.
It does. But the payoff is finding deeper, more genuine connections with the people who appreciate the real you, quirks and all. The author shares this little moment at a family gathering, finally expressing a different opinion.
Yeah.
And the authenticity felt, even if it was maybe a bit uncomfortable initially, was really lasting. As a friend in the article wisely put it, not everyone will like real you, but the right people will love you for it.
The right people will love you for it. I like that.
Me too. It's powerful.
So as we're digging into authenticity and deeper connections, it makes sense that the article also tackles relationships more broadly.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests lessons here often come from, well, misunderstandings, assumptions gone wrong.
Yes, exactly. Painful sometimes, but illuminating, like you said. The core message is that healthy relationships, romantic, family, friends, all of them, they require ongoing, honest dialogue.
Even when it's uncomfortable.
Especially when it's uncomfortable. You learn you have to actually express your needs directly. People aren't mind readers, right?
Definitely not.
And active listening becomes just as crucial as speaking your own truth. The author mentions a key relationship transforming when both people just committed to regular check-ins. talking honestly about needs and feelings.
Like scheduled check-ins?
Could be, yeah. Or
Hmm.
just making it a practice. The point is, the talk isn't just a one-time thing for new couples. It's an ongoing practice in any relationship you really value.
Continuous communication. Got it. Okay, this next one feels a bit existential, maybe. The article mentions this weird but powerful feeling that time starts moving faster in your 30s.
Oh, yeah. That feeling. The days can feel long sometimes, but suddenly you look up and another year or 5 has just vanished.
Strange, isn't it?
It really is. And this changing relationship with time, it often brings this new sense of urgency, the article calls it, about how you're actually spending your days.
Urgency.
Yeah, priorities shift from some vague someday all to more specific timelines.
Yeah.
You become more intentional about making meaningful moments happen now.
Like the example in the article.
Right, the friend who finally booked that big trip after saying, I'll travel next year for 5 years straight.
We all know someone like that. Or maybe we are that someone.
Exactly. But it's not just about big bucket list things. It's also about being more present in the ordinary everyday moments, just recognizing how quickly the years are adding up.
Being present. That ties back to intentionality again.
It all connects, doesn't it? Which leads us to what the article calls maybe the most beautiful lesson of them all.
Okay, the grand finale.
Sort of. It's self-acceptance, finally becoming, comfortable in your own skin.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It is. And it's not about giving up on growing or improving. Not at all. It's about shifting how you grow. Growing from a place of self-love rather than self-criticism.
So being kinder to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That inner critic, maybe it gets a little quieter. You start recognizing your own inherent worth, flaws and all. You stop obsessing over perceived imperfections. You learn to forgive yourself for past mistakes.
That sounds like a lot of work too, but worth it.
Definitely worth it. There's another great quote from a friend. I spent my 20s trying to become someone impressive. I'm spending my 30s trying to become more authentically myself.
Wow. Impressive versus authentic. That's
Yeah.
a powerful distinction.
Isn't it? And that self-acceptance really becomes the foundation for everything else we've talked about. Healthier relationships, stronger boundaries, making choices that actually align with your true values.
So these 9 lessons really paint a picture of a decade focused on integration, intention, and authenticity.
I think that's a perfect summary.
The article does this great little comparison at the end, contrasting what you might think in your 20s versus what you often know in your 30s. It really drives the point home.
Oh yeah, that part's really clear. Like in your 20s, maybe you think, I've got all the time in the world.
Right. Infinite time.
But in your 30s, you realize, whoa, time is actually my most valuable and finite resource.
Okay, what else?
20s, my friends will always be around. It's easy. 30s, uh-oh, friendships need real effort to last.
True.
Or 20s, more money will definitely equal more happiness. 30s, actually happiness feels more like balance and meaning, not just income.
That's a big one.
Huge. And 20s, I need everyone to like me. 30s, I just need to be authentic to myself.
Yeah, and the career one.
Right, 20s, success means climbing that ladder. 30s, success means living in alignment with my values.
It really captures that shift in perspective, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening in? These lessons, as the article emphasizes, they don't just land on your doorstep on your 30th birthday right
Oh,
now.
definitely not. They unfold gradually.
Huh.
Through all the stuff life throws at you, relationships, jobs, health stuff, just quiet moments of thinking.
And the beauty, maybe, is in starting to recognize them
Yeah.
and actually letting them reshape how you approach things.
Exactly. Recognize them and allow them to guide you. The article has this lovely encouragement to be gentle with yourself through this evolution. It's not about having it all figured out by 39.
Phew. That's a relief.
Right. It's more about getting more comfortable with the questions that matter. It's about progress, not perfection,
Yeah.
about being present, and having the courage to live life according to your definition of meaningful.
Progress, presence, and courage. I like that. So here's a final thought to leave you with. What if the real superpower of your 30s isn't just learning these lessons, but finding the radical freedom that comes when you actually start applying them day by day, regardless of what anyone else expects?
That's definitely something to chew on, the freedom and application.
Something to think about.
Wow.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.